So I want to get this to the other side. There's a new session here. A couple days later, probably? I don't remember, actually. But there's only one island nearby. And I don't really remember how it was stuck before. Which could be an upside. But this is how I got to the other island before, which is really redundant now, because I can come here from every direction now. See, I can't push this tree upward to make it go in the other direction. So the bridge still has to come from that side. There's a basic symmetry I'm looking for here. What does stand out to me right now is that this is too long, as in 2 spaces long, and none of the gaps on the right are 2 spaces long. So that's probably not how you get across. But this is how I got across in the first place, this direction. And I could do that right here and nowhere else. That's the 1 2 space spot. So if I can get the log to just be right here and then roll it, then it would just land there. But that causes problems because it starts lower. My throat feels scratchy today, so I'm just gonna enjoy that all day. This is too low. Not only can I not push it to the right, it's in the wrong spot anyway. You also can't, as far as I can tell, ever put a 2 space log on top of its own stump. Only the rolling end over end feature of the short one seems to work that way. Whee! I'm trash. And push off. Which is not even how that works either. So if I push this way, one of the intuitive things I would try to do is to run around behind here, but this thing's too long. There's no gap back here. Because if I could run around behind it, I could push it down to here. It would be because if I can make it occupy these 2 spaces, I can jump on this stump or here and then push it, and then it'll roll until it gets to the bridge spot. Which feels like the solution. It feels like the solution except for the part where it doesn't work. Because I can't, there's a rock here. My definite suspicion is about whether or not I can just make the raft point the other direction. That was super easy. Hey! Did I give up on this last session? I genuinely can't even remember this island. I remember the garden spoon, though. I guess it was just the end of a session, so I was looking to wrap it up regardless. So if I hit some resistance, I was like, you know what, that's enough for today. But that wasn't too bad. It does lead to some... It does require some trickiness. Because unless I'm mistaken, it did basically require me to resolve the previous island midway through the puzzle, right? Because if this was like this, then I could have never solved the puzzle, right? If this starts out like that, then I can't I go here, and now I can't go around behind it. So I had to go up this raft while it was in the first configuration, resolve the previous island, then come here in this new configuration. Yeah. Sup? Oh, there's 2 of them, okay. I was confused. Wait. So this won't work. That was interesting. So there's a damaged state. It's not just cosmetic. You knock them against each other, they get damaged, and that means they now have log rules instead of tree rules, so you can push them over. So in this one case, the order in which I shove these trees matters, for example. Because that tree didn't fall over, but then I push this one and that one falls over. And I can reverse it and do the other way around. I don't know if that's actually the puzzle mechanic of this specific island or not, but it's worth considering. Right now this feels pretty frustratingly stuck, so it's probably not very helpful right now. That said, if I do this, I can't get around, so there's a question of, like, is there a different approach to take? I don't think... I can do this, but that doesn't seem very useful. I think this is just meant to be a bridge, and nothing else goes on there. So I can't push it in right now because it won't occupy the same tile. Nah, and here it's against the tree trunk, so I can't push it that way. Maybe this will be useful. So if I push it, it'll stop. But it's still against the water. Unhelpfully. So it'll stop here, but then I can't push it to right it back up. So both directions push it in the water. I don't think I can, like, get on this log over here and then push it back in some way. So if I could push it to the left, it would stop on this stump, which would be useful. That's not necessarily an option either. What option am I missing here? Nope, it's that. There it is. I barely even registered what I did differently. It really was just the order of pushing them in some way. And then I just accidentally solved it, essentially. So rolling it all the way down here, if possible, would just lead it to it going in the water. If I come over here, I can push it end over end? Yeah. But is this helpful in any way? I ultimately needed it to roll end over end to here and then land in the water. Rolling it would not work because it would be facing the wrong direction. Snowman! Are snowmans meant to indicate difficulty, I wonder? Like it's hard to get to a snowman? And so it's like, you did it, you made it to the snowman. But they seem pretty rare. It's probably a reference to A Good Snowman is Hard to Build, a game I have not played. But I guess you probably roll around balls of snow, and then you probably hug the snowman when you build it, since that's what you do in this game. Okay, I don't even know how many steps I have to rewind at that point, so let's just get out of here. That may have been a useful trick. Whoa! That was a hell of a... It's like I did like a double input that made it like skip the animation so it could keep up. And it looked really violent. This is not helpful. That did give me raft ideas, though. Okay, that's not going to be very great. But it did make me wonder, like, is moving this raft around the puzzle? Like, what if pushing the raft deeper in to get to the snowman was helpful, or if pushing the raft deeper allowed me to do something with the log. So yeah, the log will roll over the raft. Which means in a different context I can probably put the stump on the raft, which might come in handy in some way. If we run it backwards from it standing up straight up right here, it can also get there by rolling from here, but I can't push it from below, so that couldn't happen. I could also get it from being here, but I can't push that from behind, so that can't happen. And intuitively, those are the only possible ways to make it stand up here and then get pushed over into that, which makes the puzzle seem impossible. But that's what puzzles are. That's the fucking trick. You get two rings, and the two rings are locked into each other, and you're like, these rings are interlocked. This is impossible to open. And then you're like, but the fact that it was delivered to me as a puzzle comes with the promise that it can be solved. So then I'm like, okay, well then there must be a way. And then you sit there and puzzle the rings for 3 hours, and then you get bored and stop. I don't actually usually solve those physical puzzles where the things are stuck together and you jiggle them around and there's some way to make them stop being stuck. And now I'm just trying to find out what is any option I haven't even tried yet, because I feel like I've done a lot of them now. Like, here's the contradiction, right? I just go 2 to the left and we win. But like, how? There's a rock here. This is where I start getting paranoid. Like, am I supposed to fly in from a raft from over here and be like, haha, huzzah, I've saved us? And for that matter, you can't even get it to the bottom left corner because you can't get it out of the bottom right corner. But that's just taking the long way around compared to the more sensical path. If I could get it to be here, but standing up, or even lengthwise, then at least I could push off of it to make the raft go down. And if I could push off of it to make the raft go down, I don't know. Maybe there's a way of putting the log on the raft, creating a... I wouldn't be surprised if there's puzzles at some point in this game where you create a platform where one previously was not, and then use that to make the log go around instead of just yourself. That said, I feel like I'd be trapping myself. I guess maybe the idea is that if I do solve it with this raft and the raft gets to an unescapable location, I still would have had... There's 2 logs on the snowman island, so I can create a raft with those and escape. So I wouldn't be fully trapping myself if I solved the puzzle. Because yeah, there's the concern. I'm like, oh, I'm here. How do I... Like, I can escape like this. But if I do something more complex, then I might get into trouble. Like, if the raft gets in this corner, I can never leave, especially unless the log is there to push off of. And if I make use the log to make a bridge, then the raft will be trapped with no way to get it back to where it was before. Unless I reset the island it came from, but I have to get back there myself first. But I guess, yeah, like over here is an island with 2 logs, so I guess that safeguards the idea that I might get trapped. It almost encourages the idea that I might get trapped. And the only... the only rock on that island that's near a shore that the rafts could reach is to the north of the snowman. That's the place where you could create a raft, then push off. It's not the only place. You could also do it right in front of me, I guess. So you can go down, maybe, and you might be able to go left. So the left would take you back to the bench. So that's how you escape. But how do I solve this puzzle? Because among other things, the concern is how to go down. Let's see. Now it's standing up. Oh! That's a big deal. So if you stand it up, it pushes the whole raft. Now we're offset by 1, which is interesting. For sure. I don't necessarily know how that solves the puzzle. Like, if I do this, then I just can't get across. But it's the closest I've gotten, and that I've never even been able to get it to go there yet. Interesting. I was just thinking in terms of pushing off of it to move the raft around. That let me push it around. And now I'm trapped. I lose. Do I just push you back on again? Yes, you just do it again. Hey, friend. I like you even though you're a thief. Now give me the money. I'm just kidding. I don't understand what human money is. They put us on an... Yep, we're isolated. Still might be able to make this work. No, the snowman's in the way. Maybe a snowman isn't friend. I want to make a raft here and push off and go down. The obvious thing to do is to go this way. Like, just so we're clear, I see this very obvious raft here, which I explained earlier too. But here it is visualized. But this is but an escape and nothing more. Just back to where I was. But what about new? Only one of the logs has to survive. But this direction seems pretty useless. Wow, I accomplished less than before. Okay. And those are also problems. It feels like they can only be useful if I push them this way. And here we're pretty limited in what we can do. Because pushing them outward just pushes them in the water. They can't interact anymore. So the only thing that we seem to have is this. But then the snowman blocks me. I can still push it up and make the raft. And I can push it down to lose, which is great. I don't think you can move the snowman. You just hug the snowman. And what a friend he is. But this just feels rife with possibility. It feels like something I could do something with. But like, I feel like I've narrowed down every possible input to this moment, and this is the only thing I can do besides losing or making a raft. And up makes the raft, and down loses, and left doesn't exist, and right doesn't exist. I would spend more time on it, but I don't think there's a single other input to do. I think it's pretty... That's it. Womp. Alright. Well, that's filled in, and now there's no more dregs of the Winter Wonderland remaining, asking to be solved. Let's check the zoom out screen when I get to the fast travel spot. Yeah, there's no hint of island, so that might be it. Pending surprises. There is something over there, but It's not really above or to the side of this island. So if anything, I probably get there from there. Where, though? There's a bunch of weird rocks over there. Let's take a look around. I probably haven't been here for a bit. Okay, so there's clearly this spot down here I can get to. But the only local... Yeah, the only local tree can't go anywhere besides this island, so that's pretty trash for me. It seems like I'd come from the south direction to get to this island because there's those 3 rocks. So you'd go up to the top rock, then push off of the right rock, and then arrive at the left rock. Then you have to push the tree next to that rock to enter the island. So you probably get there from the bottom island. But what caught my eye a second ago was I was wondering if I could solve this island in a way that let me bounce off these rocks and then go right in the direction that we just saw towards that weird thing sticking out of the fog that seems to be indicating... Like, I think that's why stuff sticks out of the fog, not just to tease that the world's larger, but to give you a hint of what directions you might want to go out in via the rafts. This level still has... Yeah, this one still has wasted logs in it. I still never made it over there. Let's see if I, now that I've kind of forgotten everything about this island, if I can suddenly make sense of it. Or I've forgotten this island and learned new things about the game. Shit. Forgot about that. This one's really trapped. This whole island's kind of not doing anything at the moment, isn't it? Stand up, lay down. So stand up here. So if I can have it lay across here, then I can have it stand here, then go there, which creates an alternate bridge that would let me stand here and push that log towards the island that it's on, finally. Because otherwise it's against the wall, so it can only be used to be put to make a bridge to this island. But you can paradox it a bit, potentially, by using it as a bridge to this island, and then creating a new bridge on this island. And then... Only can get it to go there. Does one of them always have to go here? We are faced with the problem. Yeah. There doesn't seem to be a way to escape with these logs. They have trouble getting away from their starting stump. It probably does necessitate always having one of them get stuck in that corner. Just so that it stops being a corner. So they can push the other one against the same corner. And then you can do stuff with it, because there's actually a wall around it. If it's a diagonal like that, like a jagged corner, then it covers 2 sides at once, making it so you can't do a push. But I can't get under it here to push it up. And this thing becomes its own problem. What is your deal? I guess even if I made a raft, I couldn't go anywhere with it. So that's how you end up reinforcing the idea that the only thing to do with this is to go here. I was thinking about, like, what if I rolled a log across here, but then it would just be stuck here. I can't roll a log across it. I can't make the bridge be here necessarily, but even if I could, if I rolled a log across it, you can't really, because this rock's in the way for both stages of that process. I've done it. There's our islands again. Here I am, once again, not entirely sure if there is a trick. Is this bridge useful in ways? And there it is. It's that straightforward. Okay. Cucumbers. Humans eventually noticed that their vegetation was inefficiently shaped for their storage methods. By crossbreeding cucumbers with ice cubes, scientists managed to create a chilly, six-sided, easily stackable salad plant. This is the origin of the phrase "cool as a cucumber." Oh no, their entire misunderstanding comes from a mispronunciation of the word at this point. Are we just creating a simple platform down there? So going to the left, up and down rolls both kill it. Going to the right and the top, same thing. So it feels like you do this part. Then it's stuck with this rock to its back. That's not great either, because I can't get it away. It's easy enough to get this one into the water, but it's facing the wrong way. Is there a way to make it face the right way? If you're here, you could catch it, and then not much happened. Oh wait! Ba-da-ba! Ba-da-ba! Full loop. Completo. Oops. I always feel like I need a confirmation button to use these things and not just walking into them. There was I got into a little comment thread about this game a bit, which is that it's about the backseat gaming sort of aspect of watching puzzle games. And there's a particular game style that I think is especially infuriating to watch, and that's games like this and Portal and some other games that are relatively simple. And I have to specify the difference between simplicity and difficulty, because they're different things. But the like the level of complexity does not correlate with difficulty in many games cases. And this game is really simple. The number of actual steps involved in a solution is relatively short, and you can sit there and puzzle over those steps for like 20 minutes or longer. And that's because, you know, it's a puzzle game and it's supposed to be challenging, and that's the point of puzzles, is to puzzle you. But there's the time to aha moment, and then the execution of that aha moment is really quick when you do have the realization, because it's built around having that epiphany as opposed to solving a really complicated math equation or something. Which leads to a backseat issue where if you're viewing the stuff and your eyes lock onto the solution, it feels so stupid and obvious, and why isn't he doing it? But that's every puzzle. At least so far. That's basically every single puzzle. They all look that simple at the time. There must be a way to go right? You also might be able to make a raft that's this tile and the tile to the left. Then push off. Push off. Okay. No, probably not. I mean, maybe in a smaller way. I don't know. That's a new interaction, kind of. Maybe not. We've probably seen that before. What kind of rafty nonsense can we get up to here? But yeah, I think that's often like the perfect storm of getting a lot of the frustrated comments is when you play a puzzle game like Portal, for example, where the number of steps in a solution is incredibly short in many cases. At least if you're playing Valve puzzles, the community will go straight up their own ass with hyper-complex Mario Maker style levels, which can be a bit much. Portal being the OG game that was the first puzzle game I ever tried playing for Let's Play stuff with Andrew, and just immediately all the comments were negative, and it's like, okay, maybe we never want to play puzzle games ever again, and it put me off of playing puzzle games for like 4 years probably, because like clearly people hate puzzle game videos. And then now it's like part of the reason that I can do this full time is because I realized people actually quite like puzzle game videos, just a minority of people get really frustrated when they watch them. But that also helps the algorithm, because the commented, all the frustrated comments are engagement with the video. But for an example of a game that's not necessarily that hard, but very complex, a good example would be like the early stages of Opus Magnum. I don't know if Opus Magnum it probably gets harder, I'm sure. It's like the premise of having a campaign. But like, it was pretty chill in the opening hours that I played, but wildly complicated. Even in the easy solutions, they were wildly complicated. And that's just what it is. It's what it do. Yeah, you can only really push this down, so I don't really see this being a raft the way that I would hope. Unless I use just this one. Now I can't get away from this log. This game probably is rife for the ability to become especially frustrating to watch, because I can literally imagine puzzles I won't even know which rooms are done being solved yet, because that's not how the game's designed to provide feedback. Every level comes with the possibility that it might still be a puzzle with more things for you to solve. There being multiple solutions that lead to different outcomes. Let's see. Yeah, if I can push the small one right here, it'd create a raft. Then I can go push over there and do nothing. I guess actually, I should have questioned that a little bit more. If I push off this rock into that rock, all I can do is push back again. It's almost like that rock exists just as a safeguard against me trying to drift off into space. And even if I went that way, I'd go there. Yep. Well, I hope you enjoyed being frustrated for the last few minutes. Now I'm like, how do I remember how to solve this chamber? And I'm like, I don't really necessarily have to. I can rewind. I like how far it'll go. There we go. That's how that stump got there at the beginning. They're both gone. I guess they're gone because I made a raft. So I made a raft here and then pushed off to, yeah, there it is. So I can erase that raft pretty comfortably because I can use that mailbox to get there, so that's not much of a big deal. But there is the question of, like, what am I going to do with these logs? What use would they be? Because I believe I've more or less confirmed that I can't get across here with these logs. Like, there is a whole island over here. There's some way to get there. The space above me looks like it's 2 for the previous island pointing to that island, and then for this one pointing at this island by here is also looks like it's 2. And there's not really necessarily a way to know whether or not going to the bottom one or the top one first is the intended solution. It feels a little foreshadowed that this one's so unfogged that maybe I'm supposed to go to that one first. Which raises questions. See, this island only has 1 log, and it goes right there, so I can't just hop down across there. And it has a stump here that stops you from rolling something across it. But what about you? Definitely wondering if I can take the top one, the one that normally goes up top, just roll it across here and it would hit the stump, then go around and roll it. You have to put it end over end, so you have to go like this way, then this way. So it'd be standing up right here, so you just push it down to there. That might be easier than what I was thinking a minute ago. Because alternatively I was thinking about trying to get these guys up here. And then I'd have 4 logs in my budget, maybe? Or some number of logs in my budget. More log budget. And then maybe I could create a bridge across to the right here. The possibilities of these puzzles are so open. Just so open. A conflict that arises for me is the fact that I then start to forget how I solved individual rooms like this one and start to kind of resolve them, even though I was just dealing with them a moment ago. I already am like, fuck, what was I doing a minute ago with this place? But this creates its own problems, doesn't it? We have a full loop here. Okay. This at least gives me a way to go around. Because definitely a problem I just encountered was that I had this, then I'm like, I can't get it to go this way. What the figgity? What the deuce? But if I go all the way around, I can push it from above. And I believe that'll do it. And I already solved this in my head a minute ago. Huh. That was a whole thing. I had 3 different candidate islands that I was considering as being the way to get here. And it turns out the simplest answer was the truest one. Because this one was the narrowest gap, so it was continually tempting. It just felt like I didn't have an option, but then I found it. So there we go.